I forgot about the intro. Hey, what's up, everybody? It's that time again for the Floor Is Yours podcast. I tell you, not only are we the dopest podcast, but we got the dopest intro out there. I mean, every time I hear it, I just want to bob just a little bit because it's like that. Hey, we want to welcome everyone. Hey, tell your mama, tell your daddy, tell your uncle, tell your play cousins, tell everyone that the Floor Is Yours podcast is on. And we got another one we're going to be bringing to fire because we got a fire panel. Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, you know, relationships are one of the things that everyone has to deal with professionally and personally. And so I think it would behoove us, it will be best for everyone to understand how to build a relationship you want. And that's exactly what we're going to be talking about tonight. And so tonight, we're asking everyone to get your pen and your papers out because we're going to give you some nuggets of information about how exactly you can go about building this relationship that you want, that basically, it can be a landmine. And so to help us do it tonight, we got some great people with us today. Let me introduce them to you. We got the one and the only Miss I See herself, the inspirational chick is in the house. Say what's up to the people, will you please?
What's up?
Also known as Sweet Love. We're glad to have you here. We always enjoy what you have to say. We'll get to Sweet Love a little bit later. Sweet Love, I got my red on because tomorrow's Valentine's Day, so I thought I'd be fit for the occasion.
Well, we're gonna definitely love on you. We don't know who's gonna be over trying to be a mosquito bite on you, but hey,
I unfortunately I'm single and unattached, and so tomorrow's just gonna be me and Netflix. So that's my Valentine's Day. Y'all pray for me that this is my last year single, okay? Also, we got Miss Debbie J in the house. Debbie, say what's up to the people.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
We're glad to have you here. And of course, we got the one and the only, the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Gerard's in the house. Say yo to the people. Look at him.
What up, like producer?
I love it. Covering those elbows this week. All right, beautiful. I'm sorry, dude. Was that inappropriate? Why are you laughing so hard?
That means there's a testimony in the building.
Hey, I like how he said it. Did say, "Why you laughing so hard?" Like you don't know. Hey, but one caveat, another house rule: like, share, follow us on all social media platforms. This is going to be a dope show, and we want to make sure that the people that need it are getting it. So help us reach everybody, and out there in the audience. The floor is yours. So we're going to make sure we get to as many comments as possible. So please comment, ask your questions. You don't have to agree with us, and we want to know if you don't. So comment as much as possible. And we're going to get to as many comments as we can.
Yeah. When you talk about relationships in this panel alone, we've all had a variety of experiences with relationships, some good and some bad. And if we're honest with it, in somebody's story, we're the villain. And in somebody's story, we were the one that got away. And so everybody comes to this relationship thing, with different perspectives and different avenues and different approaches to it. And so, as we talk about building the relationship you want, Debbie, could you tell us a little bit about what you think is the first thing you should have in your mind or in your heart as you think about building the relationship that you want?
The first thing will be communication / having an open mind, because if you don't have an open mind to hear what they have to say and know how to communicate in a language that they can understand, there's absolutely no way you can build anything because the foundation broke.
But do you think you could really, that old book that says women are from Mars, men are from Venus? Is it really that simple? Just like if you are a good communicator, Debbie, which you are, do you have to learn that person's language?
Yes, it's just like learning their love language. You have to know how they communicate. Just like you ain't finna talk the same way to a 4-year-old that you would a 40-year-old. Be like, hey, boo boo, how are you today? No, you're not. You're gonna change how you talk to fit their level of understanding. Same thing.
You know, there's this saying that communication is important, but understanding is more important.
True.
So we all are trying to communicate. Are there any ways that we can make sure the person is understanding what we say when we're communicating?
Yes. Let that person say it back to you to see what they actually understood. So everybody communicates. Some people just communicate bad. Like you can have some bad communication. You can be yelling and screaming and cutting each other out. You communicating, but it's bad communication. But you got to do what works for you. If you and your spouse like to yell at each other because that turns y'all on and y'all can have some playtime, do you, boo boo? I'm just saying.
Yell at each other.
No, right?
You're right.
Everybody communicates. Just knowing how to communicate with your partner, literally having to break it down. If you have a trap type dude, hey, you might, hey, what we finna do is we gonna put this over here and you gonna talk to me like this. All right, daddy, you know, whatever you need, whatever works, whatever he can understand. You literally got to put it to that person's level.
Okay. I see. Would you say communication is the most important thing for you? Would that be at the top of your list also?
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Why is communication so important to you?
Communication is really the bond that keeps everything flowing. If there is no communication, then everything basically we can't speak to one another, understand what one another's saying, don't know how to, decipher or to even ask questions. We don't have anything. Do you know communication is across the board? I don't even care if you're talking to a plant. A plant will grow if you talk to it. It ain't talking back, but it love to be loved on. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
see how I went two different ways. A plant will be loved on if it's loved correctly. Then I went over and said, know what I'm saying? So like she said, it depends on which language your man want. Do he want that, hey, hon, or do you want what it do? I'm a role player, so I think I'll be all right,
I gotta backtrack though. I gotta backtrack on communication because, like I said, if something just hit me. Like I just said, communication is communication, whether you're communicating bad or good.
Absolutely.
But the thing is seeking to understand, just like everybody talking about, that old saying, everybody like, knowledge is power. That's some BS. It's not. Get that out your head. It's not. Applied knowledge. You can know everything in the world, but if you don't apply anything that you have learned or you try to communicate in a way for this person to understand, there's no purpose. And then having all these degrees and you don't do nothing but sit at the house watching Netflix, there's no purpose till you actually apply it. So once you start applying that knowledge, then that's when the power comes. When you start communicating on a level that someone can understand and the person that you love trying to understand, that's when it's working. But regular communication, no. Let's just make sure that we're getting to that level. So it's a more understanding than communication. So
I like that. Y'all said earlier, anybody could communicate. Dogs communicate. But when you get in the professional arenas and they start to call it effective communication, and part of that is listening. And listening is not enough. You need to understand. So you are actively listening. It's the body language, it's the mood that the person in. And so me and Deb just go a little bit deeper into that. Me and Deb had a wonderful conversation earlier today. And
fellowship.
We did fellowship this morning. And part of that, we were talking about you're not listening, and it was like, I am listening. Well, you ain't understanding is what I was really saying. And so it's important to slow down. And communication, relationships in general, but communication is really like you have to take a servitude mindset. Like, I'm not there just to be heard. I'm there to hear you as well. So, thinking about the topic, building the relationship you want, like you have to go in with that mindset. Like, it ain't just about me and what I want. I know what I deserve. I know what I want in a relationship. I've been through this and I ain't doing that no more. Then I get into that relationship and it's a me mindset. That person that you're in a relationship with, if it's me, I'm gonna figure that out quick and I'm gonna be like ghost. I'm out. So it is important to make sure that your mate is being heard and that you're understanding. And one other thing before I close out on my part here, there's a saying I read on Facebook. It says, and I'm paraphrasing it, if a person that doesn't listen to you don't care about you. A person that doesn't listen to you does not care about you. So, I'm not talking about we're in the moment and it's heated and, I'm losing my cool and my bearings. But that ongoing, if you're with somebody and they don't listen, they cut you off, they don't take into consideration what you say, you got to really, really take into account, like, does that person really care about you? And is this somebody that you want to build a relationship with?
All those are good points. When I speak to couples, I tell them it's not about the quantity of communication; it's about the quality of communication, in which you guys have talked about understanding how that person interprets words and how they receive words. So it really is a lot about the quality and the effectiveness of the words that you're saying. One of my favorite quotes is "Silent and listen are both spelled with the same letters." Silent and listen are both spelled with the same letters, and so that means if you are
so I can make sure. No.
So to really listen to someone, that means you have to be silent. And sometimes people are just quiet, waiting for their time to respond. Like, as soon as she shut up, I already know what I'm going to say, without even taking in fully what she has to say. That's not active listening. Active listening is digesting what the person has to say, considering it, holding it of value, and then responding appropriately. That's active listening, not just being quiet, which a lot of people do, which is wrong. But I got to defer a little bit. Communication is not my number one. Communication is number two for me. Number one for me, and how to build the relationship you want, is trust. That is number one for me, because as I see it, this is just me, the man in the red shirt talking. If I can't trust you, then I'm not going to believe anything that you say. And so trust. Go ahead, Deb.
Or earned.
Say that one more time.
Is trust given or earned?
It's given until you lose the privilege. Yeah. So I usually walk into a relationship believing the best.
Okay.
So I give you all of the privileges of being a perfect human being until you show me otherwise.
Yeah, and all things considered, I think that's a great approach, and we'll get into later, because sometimes you got to rebuild this thing. So you got to get to the extremes. But hey, I just wanted to really jump in real quick and tell the audience we see their comments. We see them, keep them coming. We're going to get to them. So I just want to make sure that we let the crew or the audience know that, Gregory, so you can be able to tap into the comments whenever you're ready.
Absolutely. So trust is super important to me, because even when I don't agree with you, I can trust that you're going to make the right decisions. So like me and my best friend, we've been best friends now for over 24 years. 24 years. The longest relationship I've ever been in is with my best friend for 24 years. And so even if he doesn't make the best decisions in life, I always know, I can always trust that his heart was in the right place. And so he and I communicate differently. We're like two different men. He's an alpha kind of dude. He works out 3 times a day, so just the complete opposite of me. But when I know he makes a move, I know he's doing it from a honest, pure position. And so even if I wouldn't have made that choice, I know that he did it with the best intentions. And so that's why trust is number one, because I want to know that your intentions are pure and that your intentions are in alignment with us being successful in a relationship. So trust is number one for me. Yeah. I see you looking at me. What do you think about trust?
Just because you got on a red shirt and you standing out, so you're right here.
Now he's wearing red.
Yeah.
I wasn't made to fit in. I was
stand
made
out
to stand
then.
out.
Okay, stand out.
I'm walking in my purpose.
Amen.
Okay.
Amen.
Okay. All right. We're building the relationship that we want. And so.
Well, you didn't let me finish.
My bad, sis. You go ahead, Queen.
You asked me about the trust factor. Trust is very important, and you have to be able to, like you said, even if I'm going to start dating you, there's something that I trust about you that I'm going to even go on the date. So that's already there. But like you said, until you give me a reason not to, I'm not going into like, oh, he going to do this or he going to do that. But trust is very important. Just like having emotional intelligence is too, to be able to, if I say something, that you don't take it as a jab or anything like that. So it's a lot that goes with it, but trust is very important. Communication is. There's a lot of things that are important.
Yeah. Communication and trust, I think, are the two foundations of building the relationship that you want. But there is this idea also, and I really want to get you guys' feedback until we dive into some more specific questions about before you can build a relationship that you want, should you already know what you want and who you are before you start in a relationship with someone?
Depends on your age. So if you're young, yeah, of course, you may need to date around to actually see, because in your head, you may have this perfect person in your head, but things change. Just like when people are buying houses, they tell me at the beginning what they want, and by the end, they end up picking the house that I chose for them. So you can think you know what you want until someone show you something different. So with that being said, I just look at it as I'm going to go based on age. The older we are, the more better you are at being able to be more flexible and knowing what you want, versus when you're young, hey, you adamant, I want a man to do this, that, and the other. So it's all with maturity on that one for me.
Well, I'm gonna give a little rebuttal, because I've learned more from my 33-year-old daughter than I have after whole life, to watch her do it differently. And it's probably different for her because of what she saw me go through or how she saw relationships before. I'm learning to do things even differently now, watching how she is with her husband or how he is with her. And they younger than me. So I do believe it's what we've been groomed at times to see how this is supposed to look. But then I also think that now that you said that we're older, I love me differently than I did when I was 21. Yeah. I look at things differently now on how it should be, looking at me first versus having someone to add to what that I feel that should bring this out of me. Everything that I need to be for me, for that person, I need to be to myself first. But I'm getting that later in life. So I feel like there is dynamics and generational gaps that have shown us different ways to do this. But I'm definitely learning more from generation behind me now, my own seed, to say, hey, communicate better, all of these different things. So I don't know, girl.
Well, there's a saying that says, by experience, not by age, is wisdom acquired. So a lot of times the life that we have led leads us to making decisions that are either best for us or worse than us. I think we saw a comment from a lady named Ivory. It would be great to have her on the show one day. Maybe we can get her to appear with us. That would be ideal. I think I would love to do a show with her one day. We can get that to happen.
Hey, since we got the comments coming in, why don't we jump on them before they get too far away from the current discussion? So
absolutely.
Of course, we got a lot of people saying hello, and this is Miss Lantoinette. Lantoinette has her own podcast too, it's a Christian show. So hey, thank you for tuning in. My guy James Lewis, he says love is core of the relationship. Communication is one of the elements that help it function. And you're right. And we don't have to belabor that. Y'all all come in and pretty detailed about the importance of communication. But I do like what Deb said. Anybody communicates. Just talking is communicating. But I think we can all agree that it needs to be effective communication. Here's one of my favorite comments right here. Our good friend Chastity Nicole from East Texas, Texarkana. She always tell Gregory, be careful when you get on Misha about her Texarkana accent. Like Chastity, be ready to check.
Back up on in the building.
Yeah. So you was talking about which is more important, trust or communication. Yeah. Ivory, she said that Mr. James, he said both. And I can agree. They're both, right there, 1A, 1B, or maybe on the same level. Phil, how can you communicate in an effective way? Not that you can, but how challenging would it be if you don't even trust what that person is that the person is communicating in truth? Right. And I think that can be a challenge right there. Someone want to take this one from Chastity. So I'm tired of reading.
I believe the best that doesn't mean I'm not skeptical. I believe the best that doesn't mean.
Yeah. So she was talking about Gregory earlier when he's about the trust, like you give it until someone is not worthy or they prove that something not worthy. But she's saying she believes in the best of people too. But that doesn't mean she's not skeptical. And I agree. Like what's that old thing they used to say? Trust but verify. Yeah.
What trust will verify?
Trust but verify. Trust.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Verify that what they saying is true, right? Gregory, you want to take this one from James?
Yep. There may be situations where you can't communicate. So love and trust will get through those times. I hate to be cynical, but what's love got to do with it?
What love got to do?
Everything.
Oh, Tina jumped out, baby.
It did. That was pretty good too.
I had to. Okay, go ahead.
I don't want to diminish the importance of love because I believe that love is the cement that glues everything together.
Yeah.
But love isn't everything. It's just the glue. And so we got to have structure around the glue because what is the glue keeping together? So glue keeps you together, but those other pieces that is bonded together have to also work and be compatible also. So
I will add this to it, and just to add to what you're saying, it's how love is how we do it. So if communication is important, I lovingly communicate, right? If whatever it is your love language that I'm doing it in love. So I think maybe that's what he's saying. Like even if I can't communicate, and we know there's more to communicating than just talking. There's nonverbals like body language and things like that. But I think Gregory, you even said earlier, like with your best friend,
mm-hmm.
even if it don't come off the best, like that he does it from a good heart. So
right.
I think that shapes, even if it comes off a little rough around the edges, it shapes how you receive what he does.
And I hate when people use love as an excuse. It reminds me of that scene with Halle Berry and Boomerang talking to Eddie Murphy, where she says, "I hate when men use love like a disease that you catch," and they use it as an excuse sometimes. Yeah. And so we always go back. Well, because I love you, I did this because I love you because I love you. Like, well, sometimes what does love got to do with it? Do the right thing. That shows me you love me.
Yeah, I think that some people are confusing or conflating love with I care, or like it's only an emotion. We always say love is an act too. So what are you doing to show that you love me as well? I see you want to take this one?
Yes, it says, I honestly don't think one is greater than the other. They're all important. They are all important, and there's not a right or wrong answer regarding the order. So in other words, I get it. Everything. I don't think it's like a 1, 2, 3. It's just like this is all in the basket, and this is what helps the relationship all as a whole.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And then we showed this earlier from Miss Ivory. She said, yes, definitely know who you are. And I have to agree with that. If you don't know who you are, how can you even know what you want? Right. Mm-hmm. Of course, I get what Deb's saying. If you're a younger, kids or whatever, I'm questioning, should you even be dating? Then that would be my comment to that. But here we are trying to establish family and build legacy and, hopefully be together forever. Hey, I think you need to know who you are. How can you even request, a person to be in your life if you don't know, like, what drives you? What are your passions? What is your purpose? So
I gotta disagree with that.
But it's okay.
You really are to get to have someone, only because it's a lot of people that's still trying to find themselves, and sometimes it takes someone to help you figure that out. Not saying it's their job, it just happens to run parallel with each other, because I got with you and you got with me, and we running this race together. Hey, they can bring out the best that's in me and make me realize some things, teach me.
I hear you, but get somebody else to do it. Here's from James Lewis. He said, sometimes older people make horrible decisions based on their life experience. Hey, man, and we talked about this in the past. Like, sometimes we're in a relationship fighting over something that somebody did to us years ago that we have refused to put in the work to heal from.
Mm-hmm.
So, right. That's the thing. We talked about it. Like when we get in relationships now, man, we are coming with baggage, whether you like to call it that or not. But whatever it is my past experiences, my triggers, my family history, my medical, whatever it is. So you're right. People can make horrible decisions. Just because we're older don't mean that we got it all figured out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And knowing yourself also means knowing the bad things too. What are your triggers? What's your attachment style? Are you an anxious attachment person that you get bent out of shape every time your person has to go out with their friends? Like, what are your issues? What are the things you know are going to bother you in these relationships? And know that too.
If they want to go out, baby, let me tell you something. After a bubble bath and a Topo Chico, I'll be asleep by the time you got back anyway, child. Hey, hope you had a good time.
Topo Chico, you owe us some advertisement. All right.
What's the next one? I got this one.
Okay, go ahead.
You have to conquer me before graduating to we. Hello, somebody.
Ooh, I need to conquer me before graduating to we.
Absolutely.
Man, I want the best, and I'm saying I don't want to get in a relationship, and that's one of the comments we're going to get to. I don't want to get in there and figure everything out. Of course, we're going to have to learn how to jail, but I need to know who I am. And I'm just saying, I remember we talked about it a couple weeks ago. Tamika was like, I ain't about to be telling you certain things on what to do, how to operate, to treat me right, to, conquer me before graduating the we. I got to roll with that one right there. And we'll go with this one right here, and then we'll let Gregory take us back to the next discussion before we get the rest of the comments.
It's not an age thing, it's a feeling. Simply, you can't be afraid of making mistakes.
Absolutely.
Oh Lord,
let me tell you something.
Hey, the enemy didn't like what he was about to say, boy.
Well, child, I just didn't want to be done. Went up to the upper room. Oh, there you go.
Hey,
there you go. What happened?
We said the enemy didn't. You was about to drop some nuggets. The enemy didn't want you to say what you was about to say, man.
It was trying to stop the message here. I'm telling you.
You want to go ahead with what you was about to say with this comment right here?
Oh yes, I almost forgot. I said you do have to love like you've never been hurt before, which is one of the most scariest things ever before that you've ever will do after you've been mishandled and mistreated, to put yourself out there, put your heart on the line, because to say that you're in love with someone means that you're sacrificing your heart. That means that some person has the ability now to hurt you internally in a way that can leave invisible wounds and invisible scars. And so it is scary. It is a scary thing, but you have to not be afraid, because with no risk, there's no reward.
Man, say
that sounded like an IC nugget. Like you got to love like you've never been hurt before.
Yeah. What's next?
We're talking about these relationships, and one of the things that I think is important that a lot of people don't realize until after they get into a relationship is you have to have a vision for the relationship. What are we doing together that we could not have done apart? What is the purpose of us being together? And a lot of times people think, oh, that doesn't sound like fun. I'm with this person because they make me feel good and we can laugh and there's great chemistry and all of that fleshly, carnal stuff. But at the end of the day, if this is your purpose partner, what is the purpose for you two being together? Because if we're not making each other better, then we're wasting each other's time. And so one of the best things I think you can have for a relationship is a vision. That means I'm going to put my gifts with your gifts, my swag with your swag, and we're going to make something better together than we could separately. And so I think one of the fundamentals of building the relationship you want is, after you found that person, is to say, now what we going to do? What are we going to build together? All right, Deb, what you think about that?
I agree. No.
That was a nice. I agree.
Hey, those Wayne eyes right here.
Oh, yeah. I was like, what? I love it, Deb. Come on.
And can I give you my theory why I think women agree with that more so probably than men do? So the Bible says that when God made Eve, he made Eve to be a helpmeet for a helpmate or helpmeet for Adam, which means there were some things that he couldn't do without her. So by design, women are created to do something. And that's why you hear women get so just disgusted when with men who don't have a purpose. They call them, he ain't about nothing, because women were designed by nature to be about something. And so a woman is drawn to and attacked and is attracted to a man that has a vision that's moving forward, no matter what it is. It could be from being a barber to being the president. As long as he has a vision, a woman really gets excited about that. And so when a man says, here's the vision, this is the thing I want to do with you, this is the thing I want to build with you, that really, I think, solidifies the relationship from a female perspective.
Like they say, behind every good man is a great, wonderful woman, because not behind every woman is a great man. Next. Don't woosah over there.
Deb, I can't disagree with you. You're right. Behind Every good man is, yeah. But I would say this, that couple things. The one that helped me, I think that's a great power that most don't understand, that they possess, women. And men not conscious of that. So, can we do it without women? Technically, yes. But I'm thinking if we want the high functioning best relationships, I think it comes with a supportive woman. That don't mean that she take a back seat to the things that she want to do and accomplish in life. But I think they work in unison with each other. So that's just my take.
It sounds like that topic that I told you about, who flourished the best. Single women and married men that's in a healthy marriage.
Well, I think you're gonna have to define flourish, because that could be subjective too. But I think even for women, you're gonna have your best in a relationship.
Spiritually, physically, women that are single and don't have the stress because we're not pouring into that mate.
So now you have to define what flourish means, though, is what I'm saying. Some people say flourish is in a family with kids, establishing legacy. So I'm not disputing you. I'm just saying we got to establish what that flourish means, because I absolutely agree with you, though.
Deb, I do agree with you. I think that what a man brings, the list is shorter, but is equally valuable. I think the list that a woman brings to a man is like 3, 5, 10 times longer than what a man brings to a woman. But when you think about spiritual covering, when a good man brings a spiritual covering, that means he's going to bring peace. There's not going to be chaos in your house. And he brings protection, and he brings provision. He brings a spiritual authority over your house. I think that is beneficial. Now, our list is shorter, but it is valuable also, what a man brings to a woman's life.
Yeah, because women bring cooking and cleaning and...
Oh, the list is endless. Women
Well, I was just gonna see if it was some cooking on the man's list, because I didn't hear nothing about no pots and pans challenge. I might need a grilled cheese sandwich. I just need to know if he can put butter in the pan and toast the bread. I mean, come on.
Hey, that old Good Times episode where Florida was out trying to go to school and James got fed up. He said, "Hey, but 2 places for a woman: the kitchen and the bedroom. The kitchen and the bedroom." I do not agree with that, but
I'm so thankful. So
why you bring it up then?
I'm so thankful.
Why not?
Behind every joke is the truth. All right, next.
Now, if we're going to have these relationships that we want, eventually we're going to have to compromise. And so we got to figure out what are these deal breakers that we should compromise on. So, ladies, Gerard, what are some things you feel like, okay, I've compromised, but here are the things that I just can't do anymore, because this is not building a good relationship. Or first, is compromise something that we should be doing?
Is compromise something we should be doing, and what are you willing to compromise? So that's good for us, but also the audience. Put in the comments, if you're willing to compromise, what are some things that you will compromise on and things that you will not compromise on, and we're going to get to them. But who wants to take that first?
Is it his height, his bank account, his social status, the car he drives, his lack of communication? What are some things you are willing to go, you know what, he doesn't have to be perfect in this area?
I'm going to be devil's advocate tonight, because that's just who I am today. I want what I want. I'm in my villain stage of life, and I want what I want. I'm not willing to compromise on what I want. I want my boxes checked off at this moment.
So that we a better understanding, can you tell us what you want? Because that will give us, a better understanding of.
And remember, this is a scene all over the world.
So I like long walks on the beach. So no, I'm just playing. No, when I'm talking about even the personal, more in-depth things, and also surface level. Surface level meaning height. I want someone taller than me, because I do wear heels all the time. So I do want somebody taller than me. That's just my preference right now. I don't want to compromise. Age, I don't want to go. I'm 40 years old. I don't want to go no younger than 38. That's just me. This is my surface level things. But when it comes to the more in-depth things, if you ain't got a relationship with God, no. If you ain't got a relationship with your kids and don't actually talk to them, and they are like, hey, daddy, and you cannot be the father to my child if you're not the father to your own blood. So there's no compromising in it. Back then, I was like, well, I know it's probably the baby mama fault, and try to give you a pass. no passes, no more. I'm in my villain area. I want what I want. I want you to make a certain amount of money only because I'm making a certain amount of money and I got goals and hopefully you got the same goals so we can go and do this thing together because I got things I'm trying to accomplish and love is not going to accomplish some of the things that I'm trying to reach. And I can go fast by myself or I can go longer with someone that I'm with. And I'd rather not burn out going fast by myself. And I'd rather build with someone. So if you're not ready to build and you're not established at this moment, no, I don't want to compromise. So when I say compromising and this, that, and the other, that's exactly what I mean. I want what I want at this time, and I'm going to be what I'm asking for.
Hey, you don't remember what what's his name? The dude with the raggedy beard, the singer. We don't gotta worry about no groceries. We can live off love.
Anthony Hamilton.
You gotta sing it, boy.
We can live off love alone. What you talking about, devil?
That's a lie. The devil is a lie.
I see
Black people right now that was in part of my past, but you can't be part of my present or future though.
Yeah. What you think? I see. Those are good questions. You know,
is compromise important? And then what are the things you're willing to compromise on?
What I'm gonna compromise on, or what I'm not?
Is compromise important in a relationship first? And then what are the things you are?
I think there's some compromise in certain areas. Like, you know, me, I'm not compromising on how you should show up for me, be supportive. I've been there, baby. I'm not. I'm just not therapy on your forehead. I'm just not that girl for you. I'm that woman. I'm not her. But I definitely know what it is to not settle anymore or second guess myself, even with a man that professes to be with God, with the Lord, because I've been down that road too. Because depending on what that mindset is, we may read the same Bible, but there's something in there that you may not support about what a woman is supposed to do. And because I know He says that He said I pour out my Spirit on all, I'm not going to be devalued for that. So I'm not going to compromise respecting a man that I want to love and dishonor the God that I've served. That's my number one right there. I'm not going to respect you and dishonor just so that I can be with you. So if that's the case, I'm going to take my chances on a man that won't let me down, but he'll show up and he'll value who I am and not be, I don't even want to use intimidated by that, but not value who that is and show up and be supportive just as if he would want me to do for him. So you can tell that's really passionate because I done set up real tough on that one. It's just to know I'm not respecting you and dishonoring. I'm gonna honor and I'm gonna just let you be over there. What I have learned is that even when it comes, I saw a comment earlier about if there's no love, there's no respect. Well, it goes like this: if I don't respect you, I really can't give you the love that I have. But I know if I don't love you correctly, if I don't respect you, you're not gonna love me correctly anyway. You have to know the balance of the two. I will, because if not, there's a crazy cycle that's gonna come, and I want to be able to not go into those places that I have to shut myself down or because of what we've been beat up with the Bible, just to, just take it all in because you're in this and you should do it. No, I'm not no doormat no more. I'm not an emotional dumping ground. I'm not compromising in those areas anymore. If you got to do the work on it, you're going to have to do it. I'm not going to deal with your mama issues that you won't, deal with, because I'm not going to bring my daddy or my mama issues to you anymore because I'm going to face them. So I'm just not compromising with that. I'm not going to sit back in a corner and let myself go just so that I can have you and dumb it down my purpose. I'd rather just walk this journey with the Lord. Do I want to be single forever? I don't, but I'm not compromising in that area anymore.
Yeah, amen.
With that being said, Miss Chastity said it the best. The one that say, "Excuse my language." Mm-hmm. Can you put that one up? Because I want to reword it, Miss Chastity, if it's okay. She said, "Do you want to build bullshit or build?" Excuse my language. I want to say this: do you want to bullshit or build shit? We finna build some shit over here. I ain't got time for that bullshit.
Yeah. You remember we broadcasting to a family friend. Oh. Yeah. But,
well, hold on. Let me put this on. Excuse my language. Censor it.
Yeah.
There we go.
that's a good point, though. But when it comes to compromising, I do agree with this right here. But when it comes to compromise, I think compromising is a part of our existence. Mm. We got an idea of what we want, who we want, when we want. And my point is, if you choose not to, good luck. But I think it's those things that you are convicted by. And you got to think about those things. And if it's tied to a true purpose. And when I say a true purpose, something that exceeds, there's something that's greater than itself. So we all come into these relationships, and I'm gonna use one what Deb said, but we come into these relationships with our surface level desire. So Deb said one with heels, So and I'm using this because it's been talked about for a while. So are you saying that you're going to potentially bypass a God-sent man? God sent this man to you because he don't have heels. Because you want to wear heels. And when are you going to stop wearing heels? And I say that because Gregory and I talked about this a couple hours ago. You can be so specific about what you want. And we talk about God who knows what you need. But if it's not what you want, you're going to reject it, right? So I'm just saying, I'm not telling you to be able to change your mind, but I'm just giving people something to consider when we're out here petitioning God, or we're making our own requests on what we want for a person. What is truly important, and what are those intangibles that I need to grasp onto that I know is going to make my relationship last, versus those intangible things that really mean nothing at the end of the day.
Can I add this? I remember just, write it down and all that. Let me tell you something. I know she said something about being taller than me. At first I was like, Lord, I don't want no teacup. I mean, I don't want to have to look down at him. But I mean, I done had a tall glass of water. What I done had to look up at him. And I've been left, I would call it a tall glass of water. Baby, I've been left parched and thirsty every time. You hear me? And so I got to this place where I didn't have a list to give God on what I wanted. Because truly, if that's the case, if I wanted, that's what I put out there, it's never lined up. If he says, I know you before you were born and what the planet he has, why don't I got to the place, you know the man that you have designed for me. And I know that you won't send me anything. So if you present it, now am I willing to be in a place, it's not like I thought it should be, or he ain't this tall and all that. I know I've gotten away from it, because honey, yeah, that part. He could probably be purple at this point, baby. I'm a loving purplishly, but it's about how this is going. Yeah. I'm in my zone. He can be partially blue at this point. It's just collectively together.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
I love that, because we're looking for character. Let me tell you guys a true story about a couple that I worked with once before, and they were having issues, but connection was not it, and respect was not it. And he was a mechanic, and he owned his own shop, and I think he made around $85,000 a year, which is a respectful income. That's respectable. But she was a lawyer, and she made $275,000 a year. So there was quite a bit of a wage gap between the two. Now, while they were together, he found out that she was drowning in debt. And she could barely money match it. Like, even though she made so much money, she still was going month to month struggling to pay her bills. But he, making $85,000 a year, was so established and had so much structure in his life that he was able to live lavishly, because he was very money mindful. And when they got together, he was able to turn her money around, and he manages the entire household money, that she is now living a lifestyle that she couldn't even dream of, because she met a man whose character met the needs that she needed, even though his wage didn't meet her wants. And so I think when we're looking to meet someone, we're looking to ask ourselves, okay, how is my life better? What character are you bringing? What are the gifts that you're bringing that I don't have, that's going to enhance the life that I have right now?
And so hold that thought, because we got to go to commercial.
Gotta go.
We're going to leave y'all hanging for just a minute.
Okay.
Your success ain't gonna happen overnight. It may take a year, it may take 2 years, it may even take 10 years. For some people, it might take even longer than that. But one thing I do know, as long as you keep fighting and staying consistent, you will make it. Look in the mirror and ask yourself, are you gonna make it?
Creed. Step in that water, step in that water, step in that water. Yeah. You gotta be willing to go out and get it. You gotta dive in it, go and get it. Step in that water, step in that water.
Step in their water, step in their water, step in their water. Hey.
That is tight. I tell you, that is tight. That makes you want to go get a fade, don't it? Like, you just got to go get a tight.
I'm telling
Get
you,
your cut. You know what I'm saying?
I just
Get a
need
fresh
that
cut.
on iTunes or something so I can download it for a ringtone.
Because I gotta step in the water. It's a vibe. It's truly a vibe.
That's good. That should be the new baptism song for every church now.
Hey,
Take me to the step in the water. Step in the
You know what I'm saying? Come on, at least for Black History Month, you got to play that.
Let's do it.
so hey, that's the
Somebody
homie Miracle Hendricks. So if you're in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, go see Miracle Hendricks out in the colony specifically. Hey, but y'all was talking about height of men, and I like Chastity's comment. She said, "Baby, I am anti-teacup." Man, that is so funny to me.
She said, Lord, she said, may the teacup love never find me. Boy, that done tickle me.
Well,
What's a good height for men?
God, I'm
What's a good height
begging,
for men?
please don't send me a teacup.
I mean,
Amen.
at this point, I mean, anything 5'7" and up is good.
Okay,
I'm
Dale, how about
5'8".
you?
I'm 5'8".
Yeah,
Yes,
she'll look.
Dale 5'8", because her callus is thick on her feet.
Oh,
I'm safe.
I owe her. Man, Deb did me so dirty earlier, y'all. She almost had me crying at the restaurant.
we didn't hear it though.
Exactly.
Oh.
Word against word. Anywho,
Yeah.
you see he a little brighter. I had to slap him around a few times.
Ooh.
Gregory, did you
Violence.
remember where you stopped at?
Yes, thank you. I was highlighting the importance of choosing someone that enhances your life, not just meets the wants of your life, but when they're in your life, they bring structure, they bring enhancement. And even if that person doesn't meet whatever height requirement, wage requirement, what you really are looking for, if we combine together, how am I better because of you? I think that's key.
I'm just in my villain era. I just really want what I want right now. But like I said, I'm not gonna ask someone to give me something that I can't give myself. And so when y'all had said something earlier, I can't remember exactly what it said, but it goes back to the topic: should you be dating if you broke? No. Because if you can't give the person what you're asking for in return, and a lot of the things, not necessarily love, peace, all that stuff, I get it. But if you can't date the person, no, that's why I'm sitting out. I'm not where I want to be. So I'm sitting out on the sidelines to get to where I want to be before I try to bring someone into that situation. So me building the person absolutely means that he needs to have his stuff together, because I'm only asking you what I have of myself. So.
Mm-hmm.
I get it. We don't have to live on no growth. We don't need no money. We can live off love alone. What is this? No.
I don't see that part. Don't see that part.
Yeah.
I like the other comments, 6 feet plus. I'm 5'8". That's all it equals. Yeah, I want you at least 6.
Yeah, I mean, but y'all got to look at. I know y'all 5'8" or the baby. I'm over here like 5'5 and a half. So 5'7" and up gonna work for me.
I got a homeboy. He 5'7". I'm gonna introduce you.
I'm about 5'8".
Gregory.
So
let's get a couple.
Resumes are being sent out tonight. Resumes are being sent out.
I'm not.
Ryan, don't be.
Let's go to these comments. Then we're gonna get ready to round out to the love note, because that's my favorite part of the show. But James earlier said you have already given a certain amount of trust by going out on the first date. You earn or build the trust over time. So yeah, I get it. You know, you only gonna depends on what it is, and trust them with certain things as you grow and build. So you know, I get it. So I think it's important to break that down and talk about you trusting them with what necessary.
Yeah, because he said so both.
Yeah. He also said, without love, there is no respect. You know, I think they build off each other. I think
it might be the other way around. No respect without love, because when you respect someone, you that mean that you're showing a level of love, not necessarily in love, but I love you for that. So I'm going to respect you.
Like I said before earlier, if we this is how women are. We don't feel love, we don't respect. We can be but if a man feels disrespectful, he don't come off as loving either.
Yeah,
that's right. That's true.
Yeah. You over there like,
Classmate Antonio Green, appreciate the comment. He said, without trust, you can't have a real relationship.
True.
And I like what he's saying. Yeah, without that trust, I mean, can you exist? Yeah, but it's gonna be toxic, and Man,
and that existing is like a slow death.
Yeah, come on now. Without trust, you are just going through the emotions. You're right.
That's right, Anthony.
James also says, if I'm making a graph, love would be the center, then branching off with communication, trust, and respect.
Well, I gotta ask you on that, James. Do you love the person when you first meet them? Because you still have to build that communication and trust before you actually even fall in love with that person. Those are the key elements, I feel personally, speaking for myself, that builds that love, that makes you love that person, because I can trust you, because you do give me respect, because we can communicate. That's why I love you. But I love you, and now I gotta learn to see if we can communicate, because that's gonna make me feel like, okay.
I get that, Deb, and that's really understanding, like, with your definition of love. In the original language, there's different types of love. So sometimes it's that brotherly love that I think that's what Deb was alluding to. Hey, I might care about you, and not hate you necessarily, but I think Deb used in love with you,
Yeah,
which is a different type of love. So I get it. No arguments there. Nisha, appreciate the comment. Nisha over on YouTube, she says some wants may be non-negotiable depending on maturity. More importantly, be open to what God providing the desires of my heart, which includes things I may not know I need or could want. And that goes back to what we talk about, a lot of importance of faith in our walk, because if we are trusting or having faith that God is going to provide all our needs, then do we accept that it also may be not packaged the way that we think it should be? Just something to consider.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Who want to take this one from Ivory?
We got to get her on the show one day.
You talking about love?
Yeah, she said people throw the word around so much it loses its value.
Yeah, because you got married men telling single and side chicks, I love you, I'm in love with you, and I'm going to leave my wife and have no intention to. And the women believe it.
Well, no,
And
baby, if they listen clearly, he ain't talking about he love them like that. They love what the side chick do.
Correct.
They turn them out and then send them about their way. Let's just keep it real. Let's just.
But hey, they still throwing the word around. It's being thrown around. So whether
it should be, I love what
you
do to me and how you make me feel at this moment. I'm going home.
Men are not the only ones that cheat.
Dang. Then move on to the next topic then.
At this big old age, I need you to at least have a foundation of knowing your likes and dislikes, how they handle conflict. Oh, how they handle conflict is huge. And building a relationship you want. Yeah.
Talk on that if you don't mind for a moment.
Why
the conflict important?
Yeah, it's important because the way you manage conflict is actually a sign of how you've managed your childhood trauma. Because we all grew up in the house where they spoke a certain language, and part of that language is conflict. And so as a child, you learn that conflict, be even how small or how big it is, we yell or we scream or we sweep it under the rug. And so a healthy person has to now decipher as they mature what's a healthy way of managing this conflict, and then also maybe even changing their approach to conflict when they find their life partner. So my life partner, kind of is skittish and squeamish about when I raise my voice. So I have to learn to be a little bit more softer in my approach. Or this person likes to ramp it up. And so I got to make sure that I come across confident when I'm expressing my ideas and opinions. And so how you manage conflict is good. And one of the ways to actually resolve conflict that we haven't spoken about is attraction. So studies have shown the three components that help you have a long-lasting relationship is compatibility, attraction, and progress. So if you have things in common, you both are sexually attracted to each other, and you find yourself progressing in life, that tends to help you stay in a long-lasting relationship. But also, and so what helps you resolve conflict is if you are attracted to that person. And so, like if Gerard's mad at his wife, but they had a big fight, and she comes in the kitchen wearing those booty shorts that he really likes. He's like, you know what, babe, it really wasn't that big of an issue. I see your point. I see where you're coming from. And so attraction helps resolve conflict also. So that's a big deal. But
you just said, in other words, Gerard has a goat mind, just simple-minded. Okay.
Greatest of all time. You're right. Hey. From I always like to put these comments when people are giving us shout out. So Heather Sandra down in Texas County, she said, Gregory be on it.
Elaborate.
God bless you.
Elaborate. No, I'm just playing.
Antonio, he says, in order to have true love, you have to build a foundation of trust,
that's what I was saying.
maturity, and ability to deal with the change. You're right. So those are intangibles that we often overlook them, you know, and not saying that attraction is not important, but sometimes we put these things and throw them away at the expense of having a relationship. You know, we just want to be in a relationship. He's attractive, so these other things right here just aren't as important. So Deb, I know you got to go. We appreciate you spending time with us and great input. Tell Miss Diamond I said hello, and same Tam, tell I said hello too, and we'll see you next time.
All right, thank y'all. Love y'all. Make sure
Love
y'all
you
like,
too.
share, and subscribe.
Take care. God bless you.
All right, y'all have a good one.
Yeah, Chastity also said being intentional, having vision and purpose. You know, Gregory, you talked about that earlier.
Yeah, it's essential. It's essential because eventually the butterflies are going to level off, and you know you're not going to feel that chemistry. Hey, look, okay, what are we doing? What are we doing?
What are we doing? And why are we doing it? Yeah, Chad said if you're in a relationship and you're not elevating, you're in the wrong relationship. I get it.
I agree.
Yeah, at this point, yeah. We've been in those stagnant relationships. You know, we made the comment earlier that we all are ex, you know, to somebody, ex-husband or ex-wife. And those stagnant relationships, man, they're just like pond water, right? They stink. They stink. So yeah. Deb missed her comment. I think she was talking about the dude taller than her. So
She might have been because I know she went from the teacup no to the holiday.
Oh yeah. Hey D, appreciate you tuning in. Hey, Chacha said compromise. What's that?
What's that?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I know she's joking. Yeah, I hope she's joking.
Well, she probably still here. She'll let us know, babe.
Flourish, opposite of I can do bad all by myself.
Oh.
Wow. I love these comments. Keep them commenting.
Yeah. Stand on boundaries. I don't. Oh, when she said earlier, I don't sing that part. That's when I was singing that Anthony Hamilton. We ain't got to worry about no groceries. We can live off love alone. She ain't.
I think when she was talking about the boundaries, she was talking about when Deb was saying, you know, what everything she and her villain era and all this, you know, everything Deb throwed out there. She was like, bam.
Yeah, Deb was on it, man. She was on one.
What's up, Miracle?
Homie Miracle. Yeah, man. The official barber for the Floor is Yours podcast. And obviously, I think we all compromise to a certain extent. I know we do. You know, we might not be so conscious of it, but if you're going in a relationship with a no compromise mindset, man, I'll be interested to follow you and see how the thing go over the next course of a few months to a year.
Because I don't got no problem if you got a steak and I want fish and you don't want that. Yeah, we can have a steak tonight. Yeah,
you're right. Even at those lowest levels, that 80-20 rule, that's been an interesting topic over the years where people say, you know, I could be literally getting 80% of what I want in a relationship, but that 20% could seem so huge when somebody else offers that 20%. But I think that's people who tend to not be content and willing to nurture and build with what they already got. So yeah, the 80-20 rule is something that we all got to be.
I like the 80-20 rule because I think God always leaves room for him. So you're never going to meet someone that's the entire package. And so you can get someone that's 99.9%, but God says this person is going to have some imperfections because they can't be your everything like I am. So you cannot look toward them for everything that you do.
I like that. The other 20%. Gregory, man, you own it, man. I'm like Heather. Gregory be on it.
You're counseling these people, you know.
So did you say everything that glitters is not gold? Amen. So you might get that, what Deb say, 6 feet because she wear heels.
Yeah.
Hey, that's Deb. Everybody got their own right to ask for and desire what they want. So I don't know about it at all. Chastity said, God, I'm big and praying. Don't send me a teacup. Hey.
He gonna be the one.
I don't know. Listen,
she'll be easy to be picked up, girl.
That's right.
She's gonna be on her knees.
Listen. I'm gonna tell you like this. Kevin Hart is pretty tall when he's standing on his money.
Oh.
Man, what you said? Come on, man. There might come with some other.
Oh, I love it.
What
you standing on?
She said, I don't want no puppy. I want a big dog. Chastity don't want.
Then she gonna put the little cover up her eyes with the what?
Yeah. Yeah, shout out to Miracle. So somebody want to take this one from Denisha?
Like these being wanting these Barbie doll looking women with these chunky doll souls.
Chicken dog. Yeah, you lying.
We can't just always check off every box on our list. If that's true.
That's true.
Well, that's why I'm out of there. I'm out of there checking a box and all this stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And most men aren't looking for perfect bodies. At our age and stage in life, we're not looking for perfect bodies.
Yeah, because what I last heard, they want to see a little cellulite on the thigh. I mean, I'm gonna probably put my Allstate claim out the window at this time. Be like, Lord, I was wanting to check for what I saw in my left.
Hey, they said those battle scars know that you've been tried and
tested.
Yeah,
that's right.
So,
well,
yeah, Chastity said you need to be 6 feet plus because she's 5'8".
Well,
so,
yeah,
yeah.
It just depends on where you at.
Yeah. Ron said, "What up, y'all?" And I'm late. My bad.
Ron tarted to the party. No excuses. We'll chat with you later.
Yeah. Chad said, if I'm making a graph, God would be the center, then myself. Amen. Amen to that.
They don't tell you the chick can change your life.
We got a couple more. So, Gregory, you want to take this from Miss
Cody? As a woman, she should take accountability that she allowed herself to be the side or mashed potatoes, corn, or rice. Wow. Yeah. Yeah. You're the side piece. Right. Yeah. You're not the main course.
Mashed potatoes, corn, and rice. She a high starch chick.
No, only a person with so low self-esteem would not want to be the main course.
Whoever that one is, she starchy. That's a lot of starch.
Hey, why don't I see all these comments y'all streaming? That's D. Yeah, D, we do. We stream to about 12 different platforms.
Yeah, just stick to Gerard page. You could get everything you need over there.
Oh man, I like this one right here. She said healthy compromise. You're right. Earlier I said about don't compromise on your convictions. I like this one better because you can be convicted about something that's not healthy. So I appreciate that comment right there, Chastity. Good stuff. Tiffany said that's good. I'm sure she was talking about me.
Okay. All right.
Gregory, the way you just worded that, I don't know which one you was talking about, but you always
really does. I feel like we be in counseling sessions when Greg talks.
Yeah, teacup may change. Hey, Ivory is telling Chastity that teacup might change her life.
Hey, Ivory, do you ever think you could be on one of our shows? That'd be great.
Well, she gonna get you, bro.
Can't wait.
But we've been going, and this is, as I always say, my favorite part of the show where we pass the baton to Miss IC, where she just kind of wraps up the discussion and give us some good nuggets to go on about building relationship that you want, build the relationship you want. Ma'am, the floor is yours.
If you gonna, I'm not gonna say it. I'm gonna try to put it up here. It's about build what you want. And I feel like if you just do it, you just need to just know that we gonna be damn good together. How about that? Find somebody. Okay. I mean, of course, we spiritual too. If you gonna build it, you gotta build it where you are, like they say, healthy with this thing. And that stop putting all these unrealistic expectations out there. And stop going by how somebody's told you to do it, or do it like this, do it like that. That's why I feel we mess up a lot too, because we're basically following somebody else's blueprint. You gotta do what works for you and what's going to allow you to, like they say, flourish and to bloom. Because in this season, I think we just need three things. We either if I'm growing, glowing, or flowing, I don't want it.
I like that. Say that again.
If I ain't growing, glowing, or flowing, it's a no for me. And this was one of my posts, but I have got so much stuff that was going on, I didn't post it. That's where I am. It's a no. And if that means that I have to take some things and remove them out of the way to be able to continue to glow, flow, and grow, then that's what I'm gonna do. But that's what I want in the relationship. What can we collectively do together? And I mean, if I see the shine, I'm going at it. But if I'm not growing, I'm letting it go. If I'm not gonna connect with you in my purpose at this particular place in my life, because I'm a powerful chick, and I ain't never said that about myself. But I'm gonna start walking in and saying it how I feel it about me. And that's not being cocky. But when I know that I'm a powerful chick, I want a man that's gonna be right there with me and say, baby, what you need me to do? Throw the oil upon poet. I mean, I just need to know that we in this thing to do. Do he need me to be gangster or a lady? I need to know that he respects all of me, and I do the same for him. I just want to be in a place, or I want y'all to know that you need to be in a place that this is what we can do. We can be a little bit gangster, we can be holy, we can make that thing work, because I just feel that if you get in the right place and how you want this thing to be, it can be a beautiful garden. But we don't know how to decipher what we can say. Like you say, the compromise. Can I say, you know, it ain't gonna hurt me to tell him what I need, because we feel like if we tell him that then we getting weak about something. I need to know that I am safe and secure of yielding my heart to the man, that he's gonna hold it in his hands, and he knows how to tend to me in whatever faucet that I am, and vice versa. So if I'm not at the best capacity, he knows how to sit there and say, baby, explain this to me, but I walk through with you. I want to be the same thing. I just want to live the rest of my life knowing that I've done the work that I can do, and the man that I'm gonna be, we're gonna do this thing together. If there's a bad moment, we're gonna talk this thing out, and we're gonna walk through it. If there's a time I need a little bit more love, I'm gonna be freely open enough to say that. I just know right now, I'm just gonna get my love tank filled up, and if it's missing, then I'm gonna say, baby, this is what I need. I'm just at a different level. Take the list out the way. Allow God, if you trust what he got for you, trust that he's molded him or her for you, and let him do all that. Stop all this extra nonsense type stuff, because we probably done missed out on a whole bunch of things because we've been doing it the way we want this list to be put out there. But if that's how you still want to roll, let me put it like this: keep rolling that way and tell me how it worked for you, and I'm gonna let y'all know how it's gonna work for me, because I'm yielding it all. I want my hands off of it. I want his to be there, because if you do it, Lord, I know it's gonna be just right, because I won't have to question it anymore, because I've given it all to you. So that's all I got to say, baby. And I'll know moving forward, I can do hard things. And the hardest thing I've ever had to do is release my own control and let the Lord do it. So some of y'all need to release your own way and your own will. And just the one thing that what we don't like to really say to the Lord, let thy will be done. Let him or her that you got, send them on, because I know I'm prepared for it. If you ain't prepared, do a little bit more work on yourself. But if you in that place, you ain't got to wait forever, because some of us gonna go to the grave and gonna be by ourselves. I ain't trying to go to the grave by myself. I want to be loved. Like I saw Pastor Robinson. Y'all know him, but it's St. Paul Church. He lost his wife, but it was the love letter that he wrote to her that changed my whole day today. Y'all go over there and find him on the internet. He over there, y'all can find him. St. Paul. Okay, there we go. But you can do hard things. And the hardest thing you'll ever do is release thy will, let God's will be done. And I promise you, the right man, not the perfect one, but the right man or woman he got for you, she just waiting to be summoned for, baby. Y'all better let go and let God. That's all I got to say tonight, and that's it. Okay? All right.
We snap right. That was good, as always.
That was a benediction.
Well, somebody said we just went to church.
That was good. Yeah. That was good. Couldn't agree more. Oh,
so who is that? I don't even know this. Somebody said, there she go. When the Holy Ghost sit down on me, I just be over and just let him do what he gonna do.
Hold up. This, after you had them good sermons at church and people come to the altar, this right here when we come to the office, like Lord, okay. Hey, Chastity said, okay, God, I'll accept the teacup.
Let your will be done.
Man, we have to get Chastity on this show. So Gregory, what you got for us?
Let me say some of these comments. Who is this? Tiffany. Tiffany got me over. She said, "I'm not." She said, "That's right. We growing and flowing." I'm gonna put my post up because God must want me to put that thing out there. And then it's like, there she goes.
T-shirt movement. That's a T-shirt right there.
It's a whole song, and you're gonna get to see if you follow me, because I'm at the following space on my page now. You're going to get to see what I'm talking about with this particular song. And it is really the national anthem, I believe, moving forward. And it's going to really help you understand what we need to do. But all I know is I need y'all to know this. When I get to acting like this, that's the Holy Ghost that set on me. And I be liking it because I be feeling all warm like I'm having a power surge or a hot flash. But I know it's him and I just go in. So it's him. Okay. Right.
Man.
That's right.
Yeah.
Amisha, I had a question for you. That sign that you held at the end, it said, we can do hard what?
We can do hard things. So in other words, on this side, to say this, because I can't stand you because I just feel what you was doing. I can do hard things, but it also says I can't stop and I won't stop. There's no thing is impossible, because we always say nothing is impossible. Mm-hmm. No thing is impossible. Let your will go. Let him come in and
Man,
That's good.
What's up.
That's good. You wrapped it up. You put a nice little bow on it. That's it. That's it.
Great.
And
Thanks, Gregory.
if you are wanting the relationship if you are looking to build a relationship you want, you have to build it with God. You said it. I see. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah. Wrap us up, Gregory, man. This
has been great. You know what? Hey, to all my single people out there, because I know there's one or two y'all watching, singleness is not a disease. And it's in that time that it is truly a blessing that you can connect with God, and God can tell you who you are and allow him to chip away at those things that he is not pleased with in you, so that you can be the good partner for the person he is preparing for you. Because the truth is, for some of you out there, you're not waiting on God. God's waiting on you. And he's saying, until you get ready, I can't bring you your person, because you are not going to mess up that person's life. And so it could be you that God is working on, not the other person. So singleness is not a disease. It's a time for you to connect with God so that he can get you and shape you to be the person that you need to be for your future person. Because we treat people, we teach people how to treat us by the way we treat ourselves. And when you know your value and your purpose, your decisions become a lot clearer, because you can say, that doesn't look like my purpose. That doesn't align with my value. So it's a no to that. So when you know your value and your purpose, your decisions and your choices of who you choose to spend your life with comes so much clearer. And that because you took a time to pause and get to know who you really are.
Yeah. Hey, and that's good as always, Greg. You've been giving good nuggets all show. And got to give a shout out to Ivory. Chastity is a gorgeous. Ivory is gorgeous and has great input. We'd love to see her on the panel. So, Greg,
yes, that would be amazing.
Lord,
that is a great idea. That is a great idea. We got to make that happen one day.
We do.
And one last comment before we close out. Chastity says, per usual, this was amazing and continued blessing to y'all. And appreciate that. These comments mean everything to us. We want to make sure that what we're doing is not in vain, and that we really we feel we're walking in purpose and doing the necessary work. So these comments let us know that we are doing something for somebody. So keep the comments coming. Share the show. It is important that we get this out to the masses, especially just follow the political climate right now. And, it's bad. And I remember my financial mentor, he said this right here. I'm going to get a little religious on my, I ain't telling people to believe this, but I wholeheartedly do believe it. He said, the Christian marriage is the antidote to the woes of this world. The Christian marriage is the antidote to the woes of this world. So my point is, a lot of what we're going through is because we're trying to go through it alone and selfishly. And I think if we learn to serve the needs of each other, learn to get along better, we always say that relationships is at the core of our existence. We just got to learn how to do relationship better. And that's intimate relationship, partnerships, friendships, whatever, entrepreneurship, any of them, do all those ships. We need to learn to do them better. And I think it'll make a better place for us all. What's that old Michael Jackson song? It's true, make a better place for you and me.
Oh, baby, you was finna go deep.
That was Heal the World, I believe.
Yeah. Heal the World. We'll take that one.
Heal the world.
Yeah. So where can they find us, Gregory, before we close out?
Where can they find me?
Yeah.
You caught him off guard.
Yeah.
On social media platforms. That's what he's trying to start with. Go ahead, Gregory.
No, you said all social media platforms. You can catch us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Hey, wherever there is an opportunity to connect, we are there. And we so appreciate you spending your time with us, because we know there's nothing more valuable than time. It's the one thing that we can't replace. And so, like Gerard said earlier, we do this because we want to be a blessing, and we hope it was a blessing to you. And hey, give us some feedback. Let us know what you want us to talk about, because we like to keep it 100, as they say in Texarkana. We like to keep it 100. And so we want you guys we want to have the discussions that you want to have. So let us know what you want us to talk about, and we will gladly do it. We thank you so much for joining us tonight. It's been a plum-pleasing pleasure, as Les Brown would say, to serve y'all tonight, and we look forward to doing it again and again and again and again and again.
What he said. Chastity, thank you for the stars as well. Wanted to make sure we always give that shot.
This one here really do it for you.
Yeah, baby, I'm all we come down to that let me show you how I pull that
Now it's my turn to tell y'all about my big bro Gerard and the podcast crew.
Love y'all. Have a good night. See you next